Good afternoon, race fans. It is time for another Choozo Randomizer race. This is our last round our last match of the round one playoffs matchup between CaptStack and SoberLyte. Both these runners are doing. They both had some pretty good matches in the tournament. Stack took a couple of really close losses. SoberLyte had a little bit of success. I'm Vincent RTA, and I'm joined by Idle. Idle, how's it going today?
Good. Glad we could do this together, at least for this first race. I don't know if I'm going to be able to join the other two races, but I'm looking forward to this one. I haven't had the chance to. I know we've covered both of these runners on restreams before, but I haven't had the chance to see them much. So looking forward to it. And it is a. I think we put the settings in chat there. It is a vanilla start here, so
vanilla start, vanilla area, vanilla boss, medium difficulty. Morph is random, so we might not get it right away, but probably like we will. So,
and the full countdown here. So 4 items and criteria. That's what that 04 means. 4 majors for unique items. That does not count E-tanks. Those could be interesting to find. E-tanks tend to hide in the full countdown.
Both players going for the moonfall, but didn't get it. So we're taking the slow crawl down.
You know, this medium difficulty has tended to produce some of the trollier seeds in this tournament, although I don't know if it's going to be as trolly with the vanilla start vanilla area. Vanilla start vanilla area. I don't. That might cut back on the trolliness a little bit, but
you know, there was a medium I covered the other day that I like. It was hard to watch because of just how like brutal it was to the runners. It took.
Oh, no kidding.
That was it like legitimately 30 minutes in, there was still no real progression for the runners, and it was hard for those runners, and I'm glad they stuck with it because it turned out to be, you know, a decent race after a while, but it took some it took some perseverance for the runners. So we have speed.
Yeah, early speed boost for runners. Definitely going to want to get the speed boost for that. Definitely, that deboost is definitely on logic. If we're like getting it, CaptStack's going to reset the room, which is a smart plan. You don't get it on the first try or two. It's just easier to reset the room.
Yeah, and it's, you know, obviously speed is a huge item. Something you're going to want early.
CaptStack a little fortunate to get it on that particular deboost. That looked very far right.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm like, there's no way that that's good, and that just proves how like strange the hitboxes are in this game.
I'm pretty confident that Samus was touching both the ceiling block and the speed block, and when that happens, it's a 50-50. It's just like the taco tank, whether you're going to get it or not. So he won the 50-50 coin flip that time. No, that race you're talking about, though, I mean, you know, we didn't even talk about in that race, the early croc fight. That's the one you're talking about. Because both runners just handle it like a champ, you know, like, no tanks, you know, whatever. We'll just take care of croc, no problem. Like, that could have been a big problem, too. So some of these medium difficulty seeds ask a lot of the runners, for sure.
Yeah, I've seen some of the harder logic seeds where the players just jet through like right away.
Yeah, it comes down to that progression speed more than the difficulty a lot of times, and that is completely randomized. There's the runners. So we haven't talked about it, the Choozo, but if you've watched the Choozo tournament before, you understand the format. The runners get to choose the settings. So I don't actually know which runner chose these particular settings, whether it was CaptStack or SoberLyte. Whoever chose one settings, the other runner will get to choose the race 2, and then race 3 is kind of like the combination, least common denominator, or most vanilla of the two choices. So the runners get to have some choices on what they want and what they're more comfortable with. But the progression speed is not one of those choices. The runners don't get to choose if they want a jet seat or not. That's still randomized.
Well, obviously, some item placement is incredibly important. Like, you could have something that's completely required stuck in waterway or stuck in with in plasma, or some place that finding is going to be very difficult. And hey, Kip, thank you for the raid, for the party of 37 joining us. This is the Choozo Randomizer tournament. We are here in the last match of round 1 of the playoffs with CaptStack and SoberLyte.
we see now why CaptStack was not able to get that moonfall earlier. At least he remembers. I was wondering if we're going to see some route divergence. We may still see some. He's even going to go to the right, maybe. Oh no, okay. He's setting up for a speed. He's going to try out getting this gauntlet item. This isn't logic with speed and screw attack.
Yeah, it can be a little tough with only 77 health coming through here, but screw attack makes this traversing this way easier than just power bombs. I've seen plenty of players pull this off with one tank. Oh yeah, one tank with screw attack is this should be pretty easy to get through. Oh no. Has to So with no morph, Stack had to figure a way to wiggle out of that because he got stuck, which is one of the dangers.
SoberLyte has morph and CaptStack does not. So morph ball was at the green Marin location.
Morph ball was the missiles the under early supers.
Yeah, and that play that CaptStack is making, it's not an out of logic like crazy play. It's morph could be there. Even at the basic difficulty with speed booster and screw attack, that puts that gauntlet tech in logic.
And I don't mind that with there still being 2 majors left in criteria.
100%. I think I would have made the same play. You don't want to leave it behind.
No, in fact, there was another race where one player chose to route back and ended up getting charged, and it made a gigantic difference in the overall matchup. Now SoberLyte finds Spring Ball, the best ball. Anytime I see Spring Ball early, I always hope for a Sueless Meridia, but I don't know if that's a medium logic or not.
I'm going to try to answer Card's question here about what's more vanilla. It's by setting. So with the difficulty, that there isn't a random difficulty option. The runners have to pick harder, hard, medium, easy, or basic, and that's also the only one that is capped. So if CaptStack wanted the hardest difficulty and SoberLyte wanted medium, we run medium. With that one is capped no matter what. That way we aren't forcing runners who aren't comfortable with crazy hell runs or doing the CWJ trick to get over the moat. We're not forcing them into that. All of the other options I think have a random setting, and then random is of course less vanilla than the other options.
So one decision that I want to just mention that I've seen the 2 runners do differently here. When SoberLyte got into this room and saw it was morph, immediately stopped and picked up the morph, which I like because, he came up, got this E-tank, got the morph, and then went through. I like that because it meant there was only one trip to that other room to at least get that extra item, where Stack is going to have to go back over. So it's a little bit of a time saving, although he's just going to abandon it altogether. Oh wait, nope.
Oh, he's coming back, yeah.
Never mind, he's setting up for the... Oh yeah, he has speed anyway, so this room was easily in logic.
Yeah, and I think that's why he just went ahead and he knew, I can get to that room in the back, so he just made that play, whereas SoberLyte noticed the morph and stopped. I mean, I think both were good plays, but I agree with you that the checking the morph was a heads-up play, saving the trip there. Unfortunately, runners can't see what's back even further back unless they do that crazy screw attack trick, so could be making a 3rd trip back here.
It depends. We don't have explosives, right? And that's something that it's preventing from us checking a lot of the rest of Green Bryn.
There we go.
So Yep. Finally, in Upper Norfair, we get our first power bombs. I think I saw Red Tower had 0. Oh, Stack gets caught and is gonna
Oh
go
man!
down to the tutorial on how to use speed jumps.
Now in the vanilla game, you have to shine spark out. In randomizers, you can see those blocks have not reformed, so you could wall jump out. It is faster to shine spark out. But he's low on health now. SoberLyte did find another E-tank, so there's probably one around here somewhere. I don't remember where it was. Probably not going to want to make this mission. Oh, he can't make Mission Impossible check anyway. No power bombs. Fortunate. He wouldn't want to with this health.
No, not with those hoppers that deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, 80 health, or 80 damage for those hoppers and 60 for the spikes too, so...
That's a little much. Not something you want to be playing with this early.
Is there only one? SoberLyte found X-ray. Hey, thanks for tracking, by the way, Vincent. I was supposed to be doing that, and I've been completely neglecting it.
That's okay. I just noticed it, and I was like, "Oh, well, prepping for the future." So Red Bryn, 2 majors. All right, Red Bryn, no majors. Upper Norfair showing 2.
And we still have 2 in criteria, I think, that we need to find. TP suits chilling there.
So 1 in Crade, so this will be pretty easy to find, with there being only 3 different item locations, and one of those is behind Crade himself. So gonna have to and more than enough ammo here to take Crade down quickly.
Yep, vanilla bosses. So
Stack was thinking about going up and checking. Oh, rethinking life here.
it's really unfortunate that there's no save here. This would be a great place for a save point. Obviously, it would make early X-ray checking more palatable. But also, this is pretty risky.
Yes, this is dangerous because if you get up there and there's no power bombs at alpha power bombs,
Yep.
Or
Sorry. It is vanilla map, so he's not going to get stop blocked, but he might be forced to run all the way back around.
Yes. All right, meanwhile, SoberLyte gets in, and we have our first boss battle at the 11-minute and 57-second mark. That's pretty solid. Let's see if we get a Crade quick kill or if we take Crade to the dance. No prom. Oh, we do get a prom night for Crade. It was so close.
It was
just
really
a little bit of a miss.
That bottom hitbox and Crade is not very forgiving. And it's kind of silly too, because he could fire that exact same shot and it'll hit. You know, it just kind of depends on. I don't even know what it depends on. That's not what CaptStack was looking for. I have seen a seed where, like, it was Varia up here. So even though there was only one check you could make, it was a really good find, because then you're able to do so much more of a Norfair.
There was a seed the other day where the top of Red Bryn and the right side check were both looped. So
yes.
This elevator up looped right around to that right side location, and this area had gravity. So it was something the runners were going to have to come back to, but there was no like quick way around. So it was,
yeah, that was pretty crazy. Here's your progression, but you can't do anything with it. It's not your progression right now. Bombs are found by SoberLyte. That's a good find this early with only 1 power bomb pack.
That also opens up some other movement check, because the infinite bomb jump and those things do exist.
That's a great point, especially since we haven't found we haven't found a suit yet down here. SoberLyte's going to have to go back up unless he wants to do some tough hell runs. Oh, he does have Speed Booster. Did he check Bubble Mountain?
No, he did not. And with Speed Booster and already like 4 tanks, I would absolutely go for it.
Yeah, so Bubble Mountain is some rats' favorite Varia hideout, or one of them, because it doesn't count that particular hell run as a hell run, the speed booster. Yeah.
No, that's a one room transition. That's nothing.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it is incorrect to call it a hell run. It takes like 30, 40 damage to cross that room.
Okay, so SoberLyte's going back to Green Bryn, which I don't necessarily disagree with.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to. He's probably actually going to Green Bryn, as opposed to, like, he could go to, like, back in Etheria too, but probably.
Is that, I don't know. That's an interesting choice to go back.
I mean, maybe he just assumes the answer is Waterway, because it's always Waterway, right?
Hashtag always Waterway.
Some folks always bet on Croc, others always bet on Waterway.
So me, it's you know where I stand.
Oh, doesn't even have to go to Waterway.
Well, that's a big find. And
Yes.
the last one in Green Bryn.
That is a huge find.
I didn't. The runners were unable to check the backer gauntlet because there was no explosives, so we do not know what's back there. CaptStack did check the front side, and it was just missiles.
What the fuck can CaptStack do down here? You can get. I don't remember where the runners found Screw Attack.
I am not sure what he's doing down here.
Oh, he can check this item here. CaptStack had a race earlier where he forgot, got distracted and forgot about this item, so it might have been first and foremost on his mind. And there's another item to the right he can get too. So hopefully this is power bombs.
I remember that one. I think it was speed or something incredibly important. Oh, it's
yeah, space jump. I think whatever it was important, like very useful.
So what I like about this tournament is that it's allowed for a bunch of runners who are newer to finally get involved and at least feel like have a better shot than in some of the other randomizer scenes where it's all extremely experienced players who are going to make life a lot more difficult.
Oh yeah, I definitely missed the Simrat tournament. We haven't had a Simrat tournament in almost 2 years now, and that was my first rando tournament, and that was a really good experience for me.
Yeah, like the Varia randomizer community, that race that Kip won not long ago, that one was a very, like, every round was a, like, okay, yeah, there's just great runners here on both sides. Although what I'm seeing a lot of is the quality of play, even in the newer runners, is still, the bar is much higher than it used to be.
Yeah, I think that's true, and I think it's true because of the settings too. That Simrat tournament from 2 years ago, that was all vanilla. There was no such thing as full countdown. Everything was just full. But vanilla starts, vanilla area, no difficulty really. I think you have to know IBJ or something, and that was it. Whereas with these settings, a lot of runners have been going for the medium difficulty, which puts a bunch of stuff in logic. And I mean, dealing with some of these random starts can be very tricky. If you start the game in the ship, you're not going to reach Meridia for a while. You're just not. You start with the random start, you might start at Meridia.
All right, SoberLyte heading to BT. Well, Stack is going to have to do this long loop.
Yeah. This is, I mean, that going up top red tower play could have paid off big, but it's just such a low chance of reward with there being just one check you can do.
Yeah, that's I've seen that one. I've rarely seen that one pay off that high. That one is more of a, well, and he thought about it too. He almost went. he almost went down, and I don't know, just for me knowing that you have the high jump area where you got what 3 checks there, knowing that it's vanilla boss and you got Kraid, and there's at minimum 2 checks and minimum just 3 checks there, even if it's one of those is power bombs. That's exactly what you need to move forward. So
I mean, admittedly, he didn't know if he was going to be able to access Kraid, but that's still, it's the high jump checks. I think Spazer too. I mean, that's 4 checks going down, 1 up. You kind of, and you probably assume your opponent's going to go down at 2. So it's like if it's a bust, your opponent probably got a bust as well.
Now let's see what we got here. Oh,
man, SoberLyte's finding everything. It looks like Stack is now going to make the play to go down.
Sometimes you just follow what the seed is giving you, and it plays out like this. It gave the logic to get through Gauntlet. Well, charge beam. Okay.
Yep. I don't remember. I mean, the runners could do climb supers. I don't remember if it's in logic without ice beam. Maybe it is because they've got screw attack to screw through those booyans. I guess we're going to see here first is just a missile here.
That means the last item is locked in Billy Mays.
Oh, have they done climb supers yet?
Or climb supers. Yep,
Okay.
never mind. Those 2 locations. I guess there's 3 more checks left in criteria.
Did SoberLyte check Billy Mays? Because he was over there making checks. I don't remember if he went up to Billy Mays or not. He would have had power bombs. Maybe he didn't have enough power bombs. It takes like 3, I think. It takes a bunch to do Billy Mays. Yeah, Crane probably true that that Varia seed Varia probably wants you to go down up north here. But I mean, this Shine Spark into Fantoon Break Ship is in logic as well.
Did you see the item at Moat? It was power bombs. So had Stack continued, he could have went up and got power bombs.
Well, those are power bomb locked power bombs.
Oh, never mind. That's right. Hey, Ash Drifter, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders, to this tournament in the Choozo Randomizer between Stack and SoberLyte.
This is a best of 3, and the first race is the best of 3. So, and runners have signed up to do all 3 races today. So stick around here on SpeedGaming too. We've got quite a bit.
I love when the racers are able to do this, but there's times you definitely see the seed bleed happen when they play. SoberLyte's trying to make this traverse over to the wreck ship. Not easy.
Yeah, trying to save health here. Or maybe he's trying to do the Shine Spark too.
He was trying to get the Shine Spark.
It's a little easier if you open that door. Okay, looks like he's going to get this.
Oh, and we are going to have another
More DLC.
More Kraid dancing action. Did you call it DLC? I kind of like that.
With this being a vanilla area, runners will not be able to check that early wreck ship location, the E-tank. And they also can't save because it's the vanilla boss as well.
Yep, only options The spooky missiles are open, and that's pretty much it, right? You can't even, like, even the right side E is shut off.
Yeah, they just can't get to it. Yeah, it's there, but they can't get to it. Shut off.
All right, and we have our second boss fight at the 24-minute mark. SoberLyte's just kind of, because the routing is just kind of plowing through this.
Yeah. It wasn't set up for that good opening. That's 25% chance of occurring. Might not be familiar with where Pantoon opens eye up in all the locations. There's a lot to learn from Pantoon to do it.
It's something when you watch. I love watching, like, you know, a Zost or a Zenny or ARC, some of those runners who run this all the time, and you watch their Pantoon fight. You can see they're farming, but you also see them setting up for, okay, if it's quick, it's going to be here. If it's mid, it's here. If it's, they're already ready for what the pattern's going to bring, because they've probably done, a few thousand Pantoon fights in practice.
Yeah, the trick with the farming is you have to do it. Those runners are usually doing it suitless with one tank. If you don't farm those flames will farm you.
In Soviet criteria, flames farm you. Yes.
You see what SoberLyte chooses to do. Just one item, not very appetizing to ship, but at the same time, he has speed. He can check everything here.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a very large area. I think you check the things that are easier, the easier transitions, and I think that's it. I don't waste my time doing others.
I don't know though. Like, you're not coming back. Is the thing. I guess, see, this makes sense because you like to bet on Crocs. You're thinking I'll just go down and do Croc if I don't find what I'm looking for. Whereas I'm thinking I'd go to Croc last.
I would at least want to check Croc to see what the number is.
True. We don't know what the count is at Croc. I think we both would have checked that Double Mountain location. That's something, actually that could help Stack here. I guess he doesn't have Varia, but who knows? The problem would be if he does find gravity at Double Mountain, that's going to take him into Meridia to look for his Varia suit. I don't know if it actually would help him that much. All right, let's see what this is, Stack.
Finna, far too often have I seen Croc hold all the secrets.
Stack could get the Croc right now, too.
Yeah, that's definitely in logic. Wait, is he doing it?
I think he at least wants to see the number. Although it is, he wants to fight Croc, since it's not vanilla area. Can't nope out of it.
It's a glitch. All right.
It does. And everything Stack's doing here is in logic. Stack, what? No, don't. You can't farm. This is not. Oh, I guess he could. Yeah, he can open the gate and then farm. My bad. And he's farming up for the Croc fight.
Crane, I would love to see a Croc 4 someday. That would just validate every stance that I have on Croc. Well, and your call from SoberLyte is right. He is gonna do a full wreck ship, full clear. Probably feels very comfortable with the way the seed's been running for him.
I think with speed, I would do this too.
But I think your hope is that you don't see, that you don't have to do bowling. Does grab those supers. I agree with that. Turn back, grab those supers. No reason not to. Those are way too. Even with charge, it makes all the other fights, because right now we don't have any other beams. We don't know what we're going to see along the way. Ridley
Yeah.
and Mother Brain get much easier the more supers you have.
I'm picking up every super pack until I have charge and plasma, for sure. Never betting on getting both of those. And so it's very rare to see bolt suits. Sometimes you see bolt suits in wreck ship. We had a seed like that not that long ago, if I recall. But
it was just like a week or so. Or it was within this week we saw both in the ship.
It's very rare to see like bolt suits after Phantoon though, because you generally need a suit before the logic will say, okay, you have enough to be Phantoon. But sometimes, okay, you find that early Varia, maybe that's your logic to get past Phantoon. What was the number at Croc? Did we both miss it here? We both sleep in here? CaptStack went from farming to resetting. I'm assuming he saw the. Oh, is he? What's he? Is he? I see what he did. He saved and then he went and checked the number. That was a smart play. Yeah, let's fight Croc now.
Croc was 0. Aw.
Yeah, I'm guessing he would have stayed if it was even 1. Yeah. But smart play to save. Saved himself some time and ammo with that play.
Yeah, especially since it's a forced fight versus being able to quickly escape. We don't need another incident at Croc.
I would have farmed those bugs. I guess he says either like little tiny helps. Soldier's Refill not too far away.
I would have taken. I think I would have taken that other farm.
So Stack could have absolutely stayed in Level Mountain and done more of those hell runs. They are quite slow. Fortunately, he's not, because he's running out of places to go. He might go back to Green Grin.
I'm wondering if he's worried about that being potentially out of logic, because the quick way back is a green gate glitch. Well, is
SoberLyte,
a gate glitch.
Sorry, SoberLyte wisely not trying to do any deboosts. I mean, you can if you know what you're doing, but they tend to just slow you way down. Just doing it the way he did, where you just take the damage, knock you back a little bit, and then you run forward. He only took 3 hits from those spikes, and now we'll have enough energy to be able to check this item in the back. Smart refill from CaptStack as well.
This game can be very unforgiving, and running around with low energy for a long time, unless you have perfect movement, is extremely dangerous. And even with it, I've definitely seen great runners take just bad deaths out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think it pays to be like too. Oh my gosh!
French vanilla gravity. Well, when I was saying earlier, I wasn't sure if I would do a wreck ship or not. My thought was literally the only thing that I would regret not getting is gravity. And
of course. Let's see. Is this technically go mode for SoberLyte? You've already mentioned he's not going to want to be doing that charge beam fight.
No, that's 200 charge shots with just this.
He's got bombs or spring ball for worst room in the game, and he's got speed boosters. So I think he does have everything he needs.
Yeah, he has speed and grab, so he can get through Bot's wound. Yeah, like technically that's enough.
I wonder if it's just a refill here, SoberLyte. I'm not sure. I think it would have been faster to just go to Slotage refill. Because I don't think, well, I guess there's only a few items left in the tree. You could check them, but I suppose what he could do is check the few items that are left in criteria on his way down. I don't know if that's what I would have done, but I think that's a reasonable play.
Well, we are going to find out what this last item is criteria is, because that appears where Sober's heading to check.
Sober. He's not checked that already, has he? Climb supers? Why is he skipping by that?
I don't think he's checked Billy Mays. That's why I'm thinking he's headed down here first.
Yeah, but you do climb supers and then you go to Billy Mays and then you keep heading down.
Yeah, you're right. That's routing wise, that's the better decision. Let's see if CaptStack figures out, hey, I should probably go finish that gauntlet I didn't do earlier.
It's actually a pretty easy trick for doing climb supers when you don't have Ice Beam. You start close to where the booyahs are and you run back to the left to charge your shot, and then once it's charged, then you do a full run to the right, and that gets you back up to full speed, so you have the blue echoes. The blue echoes will carry you to the booyahs, so you won't take damage to the booyahs because you have the blue echoes. So you just do a leaping jump over the booyahs, and then you do your spark up. And it's pretty easy if you practice it. The only problem is you just about run out of charge. You actually, like if you run all the way to the far right wall and then try to spark up, I usually run out of spark by that point, so I always jump up a little bit early.
Well, that's going to make that... Now I would say SoberLyte has more than enough. You can go for it.
Yeah, this is still pretty tough for Mother Brain. Not tough for Ridley. Because he doesn't have, unless he can do speed step skip, he's going to be struggling with ammo there. And charge phaser, I don't know what it is, but it's not a short fight. A lot more than 60 shots.
What's that?
It's a lot more than 60 shots. I don't know how many it is.
And way more than 20.
Way more than 20.
But not the 300 it is with just charge.
Correct. But still, I mean, is it? I think it's at least 100. It might be more than 100.
That might be worth a. That honestly might be worth it. Go refill. Go break the glass and refill.
Yeah, I would. With 5 tanks only, I would be, or I'd be trying to do. I would be trying to do the speed step skip until I got it. That's not really a fun position to be in. Yeah, it's interesting thought train. Would finding gravity tell him? I don't know if that would really tell him that the answer's the waterway.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but even if he does go that route at this point, he's only going to see this one wrecked ship, and is he going to think, well, I probably need to full clear this? Because that's not necessarily a play everyone's going to make.
Right, and it's harder to do without Aria already. I mean, everything CaptStack's about to do is more dangerous.
Yes. Outside of, a lot of people probably don't remember or realize, just forget the fact that Varia gives you heat room protection. It's the damage reduction that matters in a lot of the areas we're headed to.
100%. Yeah, I think that's what Crane's getting at, is CaptStack might realize that Varia can't be behind gravity, because you would need something like 8 E-tanks to put Fantoon in logic without a suit. And he's checked just about everything he can check. I don't think there's going to be 4 more E-tanks. So, that might lead him to not look for Varia in Meridia.
Look at this. The routing choices that SoberLyte's made.
Oh my goodness!
Get some high jump boots before going down to Lower Norfair. 3 items here in East Meridia. Wow! Just everything this race, at least, is coming up sober.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, even if Stack had chosen to go down instead of up at the beginning, he would have had to continue to make these same choices that SoberLyte's making to keep up. Sometimes randos are going to be that way.
It's just a couple of routing choices can make a huge difference. Like I've definitely seen races where it was decided early on because one of the runners got speed early, and just that movement difference, made and the movement difference in the access made the entire race.
Yep. Yeah, and there's no reason that Troc couldn't have had one or two items. I mean, that was a reasonable check too. It just pay off. Stack's got to be careful. He is one hit with KO here. Yeah. That's not where you want to be. That's why you got to farm those flames. But the thing with those blue flames is when you kill them, their hitbox lingers for at least a quarter second. I think it lingers a lot longer than it should. Let's put it that way. It can be completely gone, and you can still take the damage. So unfortunately, you can't just shoot them when they're below you and fall on them. That will never work, pretty much, unless you're like way high up in the flames at the bottom, maybe.
So SoberLyte makes pretty quick work of Bot's Wound, and it's a vanilla E tank behind Bot's Wound, so not the major there. Headed down here is Dragon fight, which we'll see how he approaches this. We don't have any of the two super fast ways to kill because we don't have grapple and we don't have the microwave beam.
That's speed though, and high jump helps a lot here.
Yes, high jump helps here. High jump is huge. Headed down to lower Norfair, like having high jump and screw attack headed in lower Norfair is gigantic.
High jump probably helps the most in this fight and Ridley fight. Although in Ridley, if you know you don't have high jump, you can compensate. I have a really difficult time doing the shine sparks and landing them on Dragon without high jump. Like I'm always like goop sparking into the ceiling when I try to do that. CaptStack's gonna try this again. I don't blame this at all. Although, I guess the one thing you could say about this is he does have enough information to know by now that there's probably a suit somewhere else. So that'd be my only reservation with doing this wreck ship play. The first time he came in here, he didn't know if the item was going to be like its business. Now he does know.
This is actually the room I learned how to shine spark, or how to charge up speed much quicker. Learning the timing. I remember there was a tutorial that used this room as the place to learn how.
Uses those pipes.
Yep.
This is not the easiest place to learn it, though. I mean, yes, you got those pipes, but it's pretty much the good quality of it.
But if you're able to learn it here, you can do it pretty much anywhere.
True. It's just the lag in this room kind of throws it off a little bit. This is the first room where I stopped doing the stutter for. I don't know if that was a good decision or not, because I still have trouble with the shine sparks now in that room. Maybe I should bring the stutter back.
Yeah, I have to work on a lot of my skills to be able to run this, but eventually I'm going to actually join in the fray. But we're not there yet. Seeing as I literally just finished my first randomizer seed during this tournament.
Well, congrats on that.
Let's not talk about the time, but
no, we're not going with time.
For me, there was one particular trick I wanted to learn before I even tried anything else. That was getting Alcatraz escape, which I know isn't like, that's just a one simple little movement thing, but To me, that's like, if you can do this, there's a lot of other things that will fall into line if you learn this, if you learn how to do this.
Stack wasn't quite. Maybe he was doing that on purpose. Maybe he just wanted to get out. Yeah, no, because there are lots of other places in this game where, yeah, having the wall jumps really helps. So Alcatraz is a stepping stone on that.
That and practicing the climb room. That's another. I do the. Initially, I was trying to do the wall jump, and someone who I watched a lot of Shiny Zenny and his 100% grind the world record. He does the wall jump. Where after that, I started watching some of Behe and seeing his version of the climb room, and so now I learned the down grabs after watching that room.
Yeah, the left tread one's pretty popular too. I used to do just kind of a slower version of the wall jump. I mean, when I say that, I still do a slower version of the wall jump climb than Zenny, that's for darn sure. But I mean, I used to do a slower technique version, like where I would do like 2 wall jumps and land on like one of the side platforms and then go back to the right side and just do that up the wall. And that would take around 20 seconds to do the room, which is not bad. If you can do the room in 20 seconds and whatever, you don't need to go, especially in a rando. You do not need to be doing that room in 12 seconds.
No. And, I loved watching, there were some challenges going back and forth between Zenny and Oats, where they were like, I can do this escape room from Mama Turtle. I can do this room in this time. And they were going for their fastest times coming out of the room, and like watching those runners do that stuff, that they're at that whole next level, and they're doing some insane levels of movement, and that's not required to be, the randomizers is that great, yes, but you could put a Shiny Zenny or a Zoast in the randomizer tournament. It doesn't mean they're going to win. Like,
no, absolutely not.
Is it going to help traverse the rooms? Yes, but there's a lot more to running the randomizers than vanilla skill. Like, the vanilla skills are great, but they're not the difference between winning or losing in randomizer races.
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree more. That's the other reason not worry about the time too, is sometimes these seeds can be really fast, and sometimes it doesn't matter how good you are, it's gonna take over an hour and a half. Like, it's running you everywhere, every which way, and I mean, some of these seeds, even if you knew what the seed layout was, they would still take you an hour and a half. The way they lay things out, the challenges they put you through.
Yeah, it's all over the place, because there's times it can be like, there's times it's just minutes. There's other times it feels like forever.
Yeah.
So SoberLyte, this room's much easier now that he's just found that space jump. By the way, using the X-ray for its intended strats of looking up and seeing that it was space jump and that it wasn't a waste of his time to go. There's a lot of times we forget that some of these items actually have an original purpose.
No, it's good stuff. As you said, everything coming up SoberLyte today. Two items low in our fair, probably going to run right into class, by the way this has been going.
2 and wow. Well, some lower nerf. Yep, and now we're seeing that base jump plus the screw attack. Screw attack we got early, but those two makes this room much easier to traverse. It makes the Ridley fight safer, like all kinds of things. Yeah, and worst room in the game is easiest room in the game.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people like to go for that fast pillar spark, but honestly, with space jump and screw attack, why even bother? It takes so much time to set up that spark too.
Remembers to hold the jump button through the door there. This is one you don't want to forget. Like this in the room in escape, holding jump through the door makes life easier. And now Sober will head down and face that last boss.
Stack's gonna want to watch his health here. This is not as easy as it was for SoberLyte.
No, I think he's probably going to have to do some farming.
So what I would have done is just you drop down in that first water pit, you roll to the right, you lay a power bomb, and it kills all the enemies. And yeah, I don't know.
Stack is just going to YOLO this.
I don't think he's got enough. Oh, he really doesn't have enough. He needs to CF. That's dope. I'll be honest, I didn't even realize how low like that was. Like I was doing the math from 30 per spike because I think it was only 15 per hit for SoberLyte. So I was just like, oh, just double that, 30. But this is a randomizer. Varia gives like full level environmental protection. So you go from 15 per spike hit to 60 per spike hit. Well, Stack, he could have CF'd though. He could have saved that.
Oh, with no supers, Sober has to do this with a charge.
Oh gosh, use your missiles. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, use the missiles.
There we go. Now has some supers.
Chad asking, is charge phaser enough? Technically, yes, but he really is gonna want more supers. I'm surprised he hasn't found any. Where have they been?
They've been pretty scarce.
He's been stuck on 40 for a while. He's gonna have to spend a lot of time farming, I would imagine, for this fight.
Yes, I would definitely be using the grapple beam for its real intended strat. Yep, there it is. The farm beam.
So based on a race earlier this week, or last week, this is either going to be 15 seconds or 5 minutes. Is that our ETA for this farm?
Yes, there was a race where Exact Science and who was Exact Racing?
Was it Shindig Pig maybe?
Shindig Pig, yes, where the two of them were running, and Shindig gets in there and farms in this room, and literally it was like out of 20 kills, there were 18 supers. Meanwhile, Exact killed like 70 bugs and got like 1. So her farming time was insanely higher.
That was the worst I've seen. That's really terrible.
RNG was not her friend.
This is more average, I'd say, for SoberLyte. He's making progress here.
Yeah, this isn't that bad. This is definitely not the horrible farming that Exact got.
All right, we'll see if. I mean, this is the right answer for CaptStack. Let's see. Is he going to farm this particular bug for a while?
I would here.
I hate this bug, but I get it.
I mean, it's the only real place to farm around here.
Yeah. No, he has enough power bombs. He could go for that power bomb the whole room thing. This is still hippie. Yeah, choose to use the attack instead. Because like those pancakes do 80 damage. Okay, he did avoid the pancakes. Well, that's pretty good. Only two.
Okay.
Only two spike hits. That's nicely done.
Oh, and SoberLyte has that pogo manip understood on how to get Ridley to give that little turn. Unloads those regular missiles.
I think SoberLyte probably felt a little behind here. Entered the fight with, I think, only 25 missiles.
Or maybe just felt comfortable about how the fight was going to go. Already got.
Well, I mean, like I would have just kept going. I would have gone up to at least 30.
But already has Ridley in the red. Ridley's in that enraged state. Oh, and on his math, believes that Ridley will come for the grab soon. There it is.
Maybe I misread it. You have 35 supers entering instead of 25.
I think it was 35.
Okay, that makes more sense. I just misread it then. I was like, why would you go in with only 25 supers? So 35 makes sense. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, 30. Okay. Yeah, 30 is more than enough. And there is Stack getting that French vanilla gravity.
At least he knows it was worth it. That was a lot of effort for that one item. That and bowling item.
But it's at this point, SoberLyte is just now on the charge to Mother Brain. We'll pick up anything directly along the route, but will not. Will very unlikely go out of his way at this point.
Yeah, at this point, the only thing that could save Stack is just the fact that the runners they can't see each other. You know, if SoberLyte could see how far ahead he is, he'd save it to Chip. He'd go hunt around for supers. Maybe he'd even go hunt around for wave beam or plasma. There's always that possibility he'll lock himself into a not trivial Mother Brain fight here. Although I think he can still manage with a few attempts.
I would. So if I were SoberLyte, I would definitely check. I would check Fire Fleece, Hodarubi, and then the last room out. You know, again, just the things that are directly on the way. I wouldn't go out of my way. I'd maybe see what the see if the item locked behind Hodarubi is a. Nope, he's just gonna skip Fire Fleece. All right, he feels comfortable.
Yeah, I definitely understand going for only like the quick checks, thinking maybe I'll find one or two more super packs. If he hasn't done Norfair Reserve yet, I guess I don't remember what items he's checking up for Norfair. That's kind of a dense location you can check. Oh, not even gonna check this location. Yeah.
No, just like I'm good.
Probably not gonna check out North Reserve then if you're not checking that.
No, even though that's 3 quick items, quick-ish. Nice movement through that room. That's that. You know, when you have everything, well, all the movement items. Yeah, finish with all the movement items. Just missing beams. The beams are being very elusive during the seed.
Maybe Sober knows the speeds up skip. If he knows that speeds up skip, this is a lot more comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, it's still going to involve some charge shots. That's not enough to, even with speed zeb skip, to completely missile Mother Brain. But
right.
I really need to figure out that math so I know it for the future. Okay, so Stack sees the gravity suit and then thinks what probably a lot of people would logically think is, oh, this is wanting me to go to Meridia.
Yeah, maybe he's not aware of those fancy energy requirements, which, to be perfectly honest, I don't know that you really need the spreadsheet and, like, probably more than a spreadsheet. The requirements are so weird for bosses, it's, like, impossible to read the logic if you're looking at the code.
Oh,
but my understanding
from
some rat, yeah, that's kind of neat. Slightly different progress, though.
Right, like, same room, very different places in the game.
Why is SoberLyte so much faster than CaptStack? Come on. What, high jump and space make that much difference? Oh no, that's not where you want to do this part, bro.
No, it's that second location, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yep, it's from here. Yeah, he was doing it from like the Mapo strat location, which I don't understand. I always do the same thing that CaptStack just did. When I try to do the Mapo strat, I gave up on it doing this. Back later with Space Jump.
All right, coming to take the save, which I don't know. Well, I would assume he's probably going to go check sand pits.
In his defense, no charge beam, and his last save was like with 40 health in the wreck ship before he found gravity.
I was wondering what was going to happen first: Captain Stack finding another major, or SoberLyte killing Mother Brain. Well,
and I forgot it was charge that was in Gauntlet, wasn't it? Back of Gauntlet.
Yes, charge is back in Gauntlet. And Varia was charge. This is a best of 3 semi-classical, and this is race 1.
Yep. Yeah, CaptStack is not out of this by any means. Oh, I mean, he's not out of the match anyway.
This game isn't looking very hot, but
no, no. This game. I mean, SoberLyte is one speed skip away from putting this completely on ice. With those 70 tanks, he could afford to take onion ring hits multiple times.
This would take something pretty epically bad happening to change this outcome.
Unless he just doesn't save, like just flat out, like I don't need to save at all, which would be
that, or like his power goes out.
Yeah. Oh, he refilled at the ship. Did he save at the ship?
Probably saved at the ship. Yeah.
That also he'd be fine then too. Yeah, I was hoping his power goes out. But yeah, heads up play there, since this is not area rando. You need to save the ship. You don't get a free refill in return.
Yes. Yeah, in area rando, because the game knows it's unlikely you're going to pass the ship on the way to Korean, it does give you that nice elevator refill. You get the elevator music and a refill. Here, you only get the elevator music.
That's important. You can see how much damage SoberLyte took from that first room of Metroids. If you know how to kind of manipulate the Metroids with the first power bomb, you can conserve some health. But
staying off the ground.
Yeah, that's true. You can use your screw attack to jump, and that gets your health as well. Those Metroids only drop 1 drop per. I don't know why that is. It's one of the strangest things in this game. They give you like 5 drops if you kill them with like conventional means, or if you kill them with bombs, they only drop 1 item. Like, why? You know, why is that?
Right. So all of that, he got a minor health.
Yeah, I don't understand why the game works that way, but it sure makes for interesting runs. I guess they wanted it to be fun for speedrunners, because if you're in a category like low percent speed where you rely on getting a power bomb drop, it's not as easy.
You know, we know it's further punishment for not having ice. We know they didn't build this game with the intent of speedrunning, but good lord, did they get this game right or what? Like,
oh man,
like, you know, we are over 30 years in from this game's launch. There's still speedrunning tactics that are being figured out and that players are finding. Like, even recently we found a new baby skip. We're not going to see it here.
That's pretty cool. They've even found a way to use the bomb spread now with it, where they like push the baby further down as it's sweeping it in, and then it's easier to. So even if you don't have high jump, you can still jump over the baby to start that jump roping process.
The new is that the new skip?
Yeah. So the stat shift skip, and then there's this bomb spread set up for it now that's useful for like low ice categories like that. I haven't learned that particular aspect of it yet, but it looks really promising. Yeah, that was just discovered earlier this year, like I said, pretty recently.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's something that it's like, what? There's another way to do this? Like,
yeah,
we already had
right?
we had the original baby skip, and then we had the YOLO baby skip, or like at this point, because of his excellence with it, pretty much the Zenny skip, because the spring ball version, because Q executed as well as Zenny does. But yeah, just we're just missiling up. I think we're gonna get a clear the Zebs, break the glass, and go refill.
Well, but he's burning supers for this refill, so it's not gonna help him that much to refill. I guess it would help some. He only has 7 missiles right now. I wonder if Sober realizes how long this fight is. We'll just kind of super get eaten too.
Boy, this room is so much harder without ice. Another punishment for not having ice.
gonna have to do charge shots all the way to the red beam phase and then some.
Yeah, this is hold your, we can probably just, other than watching, see Sober take some damage, we can watch CaptStack get that Dragon kill. It's gonna be a while for SoberLyte.
Yeah.
I had to do a charge. Yeah, it started to hurt my fingers. Yeah, this is a lot of inputs here, and every missed charge shot is another is more time.
Yeah, this fight hurts my hands too. I've done some low ice practice, and like I find myself pausing right around the red beam phase just to like shake my hand. I don't do very well. So like SoberLyte's actually doing a great job here of releasing angle to the forward shots there. That's something I just really struggle with. I always want to like let go of charge when I do that, and so I just am holding angle the whole time, and that isn't good for my hands. I should probably learn to do it the way SoberLyte's doing.
Yeah, well, and I watch like some people they have different button preferences, and some will be like using the claw while fighting this, and I'm like, how can you just keep your hand locked there for so long? I can't. Granted, this, as bad as this is, the charge no other beam fight is way worse, but nothing beats the RTA Kojak category. That's the worst number of shots.
That's not a real category as far as I know.
But it's been completed by by Junie June at least twice.
Yes.
13+ hour speed run, and I held my fingers up and did the quotes as I said speed run there, because that's not a speed run.
And SoberLyte showing us, that was a good one. Showing us what's difficult, despite even playing very well as he is. Every once in a while, he's taking 20 damage from those meatballs. If you don't land those meatball explosions properly, you take damage too. There was another one. With the 3 tanks of buffer, that's fine, but it also means that he then can't afford to take, very few onion rings as well. Probably not going to be able to afford any red beams. Just missed a french fry there. Yeah, we don't know how long this fight's going to be. We just know it's going to be long.
Yep.
Oh, okay. He's getting near the end. He just missed another super, I think, though.
Yes, but at least we're into the catch-up phase.
Okay, you keep going, SoberLyte. You definitely didn't have enough to start.
Another 10 shots or so, I think. We'll know soon. Still a little bit of catch-up coming out. All right.
I think you made it. Nicely done.
Yep. Don't like that. Like we were talking about how long the fight is, and like, well, we can watch something else here. I think it's important to realize how difficult a fight like that is.
Oh yeah.
You have to be focused all the way through there, because too many mistakes, too much damage, and it's just over.
No, just even like playing it very well. He's taken 20 hits from 20 damage from this, 30 damage from a fry. I mean, I think he took 1 or 2 onion rings, but I don't think he took 80 damage from onion rings at any point. He didn't get hit by all 4 of them. And then he was prepared for when the red beam finally comes, right? Sometimes you get blindsided by that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that could easily end it and cause a reset. And obviously that's a huge loss in time that we want to avoid.
Not only that, your hands are like, really? I just fought for 4 minutes? You're asking me to go for another? I mean, the fight gets harder, second time.
So for CaptStack, it really had to do with routing. He chose to go up red tower instead of down, where down was the first logical set of power bombs, and that forced him to have to reroute all of criteria again and Green Bryn without the ability to go get the charge beam that was the various suit that was at charge.
Or Stack is still looking for a beam and Moria. I mean, fortunately, that power bomb, that mistake going up the red tower probably wasn't the death knell here. Is SoberLyte deciding to bet on Waterway. I don't know if I would have done that. Or maybe, well, I guess there were plenty of items that were missing Green Bryn. So actually, it made a lot of sense to go back to Green Bryn, given how many items they had to skip there was the power bombs. Maybe I would have.
Yeah, there was still.
It wasn't just Waterway.
Two left. There were 2 left, and like in charge is something you're definitely going to check.
Yeah,
like,
and actually, it wasn't even at Waterway. It was right before Waterway. It was on the way to Waterway that he found it.
Oh no. Okay. All right, I believe we are vanilla escape, so SoberLyte is just a couple of rooms away from this.
Yep. Stack might be ready to throw this seat out the window anyway.
Misses the last moonfall. Oh, vanilla plasma.
Finally a beam for Stack.
Wow, that's his first beam. That's
rough. This game is meant to be playing with some beams. Although I do like the beamless challenge. I do like that particular speedrun, but at least in that speedrun you know where your missile are going to be.
all right. Sober hits the surface of Crateria, jumps onto that Kirby ship, and finishes with an official race time GG of 1:11:27. Get to those GGs in chat for SoberLyte.
GG.
Rusty should be getting that news soon. I think it's like perfect flavor for the Kirby to be the ship, because as you go in for your save, you kind of get sucked into the ship. So Kirby becomes this like perfect choice. So that is race 1 in our best of 3.
Yeah, but I imagine Stack just hasn't looked over at his race time yet.
Idle, check that message from the crane.
Oh, I have some work to do here.
The flags will probably change for the next race. The first race was SoberLyte's choice. The second race will be CaptStack's choice.
Oh, is that what they agreed to? I have no idea what the choices were.
At least I believe, because that's what it's supposed to be, right?
Well, it's up to the. Well, I think that CaptStack might have been the higher seed, right? Or am I mistaken on that too?
I'm guessing SoberLyte was. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna have to go look now.
So, I know that the way the scheduling form works, it's likely that the first runner listed, it's their settings, because the form asks for runner one settings, runner two settings, and then like race 1 will be the runner 1 settings, and race 2 will be the runner 2 settings. It doesn't mean that they had to do it that way, though.
We do have different settings for round 2.
We do. Yes.
Round 2 is major, minor, vanilla area, random boss, medium difficulty, vanilla escape, early morph, vanilla start. So
yeah, so big change there is major, minor, but also the random boss could that can be feast or famine.
Yeah, there's a lot of times you might go check wreck ship and it's nothing. You're forced to go to wreck ship and go fight that boss, and it's not Fantoon, and then suddenly you have to come back. because maybe there's like 3 items to wreck ship and your logical progression is there. So now you have to go hunt down Fantoon and open it up. And
I've seen races where like the progression item was at Kraid's pantry or closet or whatever you call that.
yeah,
And it kind of came down to which runner found Kraid first. Not Kraid's lair. Who found Kraid first at wreck ship? And then when they later found Kraid's lair, they were able to progress. And it was one of those things that it made the runners both. I think they both felt behind, but one of them was a lot further behind than the other. They just didn't know it. The random boss can be interesting.
I'm wondering if Sober has seen the race room or not, knowing that we've got 3 in a row. Maybe he just hasn't checked. But of course, it's free to run.
Well, it is in the rules that they're not supposed to. They're supposed to. If there's another race after, they're supposed to. Oh, he has just now forfeited. Maybe you
Yep,
just
we
saw
do
it.
have the forfeit. Yep.
So normally, if it's the last race of the day or the session, then it's fine. Continue on. But we did put it in the rules that you're supposed to forfeit when you see the other runner is finished. But obviously, runners don't check every minute. This is totally fine. So I think at this point we'll take a little break.
And then we will be back with race 2 after the runners are all set up and ready to rock. Idle, are you hopping out for the day then?
Yep, I'm going to be hopping out for the day.
Yep,
But
Idle's leaving us. Crane is going to be joining me on comms in the next one. We are not going anywhere though. We have more races to come, so please stick around and join us for race 2 between CaptStack and SoberLyte. And we'll be back in probably 10 minutes when the runners are ready.